Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. Look at Babe Ruth. Dude was literally an absolute freaking legend and is still getting talked about to this day. In much the same way, there are plenty of trucks out there that get a lot of hype, but there are few that live up to the legacy of the square body Chevy truck. I'm Dustin, Dustin.co on Instagram if that's your fancy, and today's video is all about those oh so fantastic square wheel wells, the boxy grille and headlight design, and the introduction of the very first dual wheel pickup truck in existence. That's right, if you guys didn't guess it, today's video is asking the question, is a square body Chevy worth it? Let's get it. Now, as we get into the nuts and bolts of what makes a square body just so good, a reminder that if you need wheels and tires for your truck, you can find those at customoffsets.com. We've got a ton of wheels and tires in stock from some of your favorite brands. We've got companies like TIS, we've got Archon Off-Road, we've got Amp Tires, we've got Nitto, and even some lift kits from some guys like Rough Country, or, you know, even some parts from Kryptonite if that's, you know, your thing. Best part is if you pair your wheels with brand new tires, because let's face it, if you're buying new wheels, you're also gonna need tires, bro. We'll even mount them, we'll balance them, and we'll ship them to your door for free as long as you're in the lower 48 states. Also, if you guys have an episode of Is It Worth It that you guys want us to cover, drop it in the comments down below. Do it right now, and maybe, just maybe, we'll make it into a video. The year is 1973, and America is at the pinnacle of product invention. Walkie-talkies are a popular Christmas gift to youngsters in the family. Stovetop stuffing is making its debut across the nation in grocery stores.
Billy, like to stay and have dinner with us?
What are you having?
Chicken?
Just chicken?
Chicken with potatoes? Or stovetop stuffing?
Stuffing? I'm staying.
The average tuition for a full 4 years of college is $358. $358! Guys, I spent more than that on food my first week of college. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. But despite the low cost of continuous education and the introduction of my absolute favorite stuffing of all time, because stovetop just slaps, and if you don't agree, we can't be friends anymore, things were heating up at the old General Motors Corporation. After the introduction of their second generation of the C&K line of pickup trucks, right, their half-ton trucks and 3/4-ton trucks and 1-tons, General Motors knew their new truck had to be an absolute banger if they wanted a shot at the top of the food chain when it came to truck sales in America. Because of this, General Motors would go to the drawing board and come back with a design so iconic, so classic, and just so good looking that they would leave it relatively unchanged in production for over 15 years. This makes the square body Chevy the third longest generation of truck to ever be produced ever, only overshadowed by the Dodge D&W series and the Jeep Gladiators, which spanned 26 years over the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Literally almost as long as I've been alive, they made Jeep Gladiators. And then we're talking the old ones, not the new ones, right? So if you had the new ones, it's even older. Introduced in 1973, the third generation of GM truck known as the square body by today's standards would set the benchmark for the next 30 years of General Motors pickup trucks production when it comes to exterior styling. We actually just did a video on this where we talked all about those beloved, or maybe less than beloved, square wheel wells, which you guys can find right here. This brand new pickup truck would feature a completely restyled design, more rounded features, seats that didn't completely suck when you wanted to drive it for more than 35 minutes. Fun fact for you guys, did you know that even though we call them square body Silverados, this generation of truck was actually introduced as the round body generation of C&K pickup trucks? This is because, for the first time in the history of pickup trucks, General Motors would introduce a truck with curved side window glass. No longer were your windows just sheets of flat glass that you just rolled up and down in the doors. Additionally, this truck would be the very first General Motors truck to be flow tested in a wind tunnel, which is why you see a lot of those really sweeping body lines and the curved panels, you know, in comparison to trucks before that. Aerodynamics were the name of the game back then, and General Motors certainly understood the assignment when it came to the C&K pickups. I understood the assignment. On top of all that cool stuff, one of the coolest things about the square body Chevy is that it was the first truck to ever be produced with a dual rear wheel option. The 1973 Chevy C30 one-ton dually was unlike any other truck that you'd ever seen on the market. Sure, before that you could get a truck chassis with dual rear wheels, right? But you couldn't get them with a bed of any kind. Additionally, this would be the first truck to offer a crew cab option from the factory, meaning that the C30 had room for you and all your buddies to go mobbing down the road to deer camp. It was dubbed Big Dually with 2 O's, by the way, because, well, that's just freaking cool. This monstrosity of a truck came with a 350 V8, made a staggering 155 horsepower, and cost just $4,388 from the factory. It was big. It drank fuel like my Uncle Ted drank whiskey old fashions after the Packers lost the Super Bowl in 1998. Over the next 15 years, the square body would continue to have minor tweaks and changes, like adding power door locks and power windows, some front end tweaks like headlight styling and grille changes and some stuff like that, and the introduction of the 5.7 liter diesel engine that would eventually lead to the 6.2 Detroit diesel that Gale Banks essentially used to pioneer the entire aftermarket diesel industry. However, that's a video for another time. What makes the square body so popular though is how nostalgic it is. There's not a single person that I know that works here or anyone that I've ever met in general that doesn't have a memory of riding with their dad or their granddad or their uncle or even a family member in a square body truck as a kid. For me, it was my dad having not one, but 2 of them on the farm. One of them that was massive, or I thought massive at the time. It was green and it rolled around on what I thought were monster truck tires, but they were probably only 35s. And then he also had another truck that sat in the fence row that we would just periodically steal parts off of when the first one broke, because you could do that in 3 wrenches and a vice grip and you could pretty much tear the whole thing apart. Additionally though, if you want to build a truck, there are few that are more versatile than the square body Chevy. Lift kits are available, drop kits are available, and even just wheels and tires are all plentifully and readily available from a ton of manufacturers, so that way you guys can really build it how you want it to be. If you need to restore your truck, there's companies like LMC, for example, who are making pretty much every body panel that you could ever want for your square body available to you to just bring in, weld in, bolt on, and paint over it, and bam, you got a brand new truck. Because of this massive aftermarket parts availability, the diversity in the builds of these trucks is solely incredible. One of the best examples of this is the Lone Star Throwdown show, which is actually in just a couple of weeks. Taking place just north of Houston in the city of Conroe, Texas, Lone Star Throwdown has arguably the most diverse lineup of trucks that I've ever seen at a show. We're talking full-on SEMA builds, drop dualies from the guys at Fat Fabs who just love to buy brand new dualies, drop them on their nuts, and then make the internet mad, and otherwise square bodies galore. Slam square bodies, lifted square bodies, camper square bodies, they're everywhere. Custom paint jobs, interior work that rivals some of the new high-end luxury vehicles of today, and deep lips as far as the eye can see. If you're into trucks of all calibers, Lone Star Throwdown is the show to go to. It's awesome. But enough out of me. What do you guys think? Is a square body Chevy worth it? Let us know down in the comments section below, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. With that, I'm Dustin. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.